back to the Violet Hour. I'm Bilicium, and today we are continuing with Deathmark. In the last episode, we finished up Miss Zoo's story, and now we are, I believe, going to dig further into that mysterious map that showed us a I can't think of it. It was like a underground secret laboratory or like military base or something. I don't remember now. I do know that our partner Madoka Haru, she is related to the person who gave her the net map, and there's something strange going on down in that tunnel because there's hairs growing in the tunnel and then disappearing, and also there's a crazy homeless man that's like guarding the way. So there's some strange stuff going on with that. And then also we met a new character, the sickly doctor Shuji Daemon, and I don't think we're gonna stick with him. I think we're gonna keep her initially, but just to kind of go over their stats, she has power 7, intelligence is 14, spirit power is 9, and dexterity is 10. And then his power is 4 because he's sickly. His intelligence is only 12. His spirit power is 5, and his dexterity is 15. So I do not believe we will specifically want him right away. Plus, I would imagine she is quite curious. Mary isn't here anymore. Sadly, Mary is no longer with us. And that's just the way things are going to be. It's been nearly a day since we found Mary. We're like a boat adrift on the ocean without a compass to guide us. Who knows where the currents will take us? Will we find salvation at the end? Hey, Mr. Bilicium. Looks like we wasted a whole day. Is it going to be like this every day? If you're done checking in here, why don't we take a look outside? Mary said unnecessary contact with outsiders could speed up the Mark's curse. And if I lose any more of my memories, I'm not sure I'll be able to function. For the past 10 days, the only other person I've spoken to is the convenience store clerk. That explains why we only had TV dinner and snack food to eat. But sitting and waiting isn't going to accomplish anything. I'd rather not wind up forgetting my own name like you. Not that I completely believe that this curse thing is real. She raises her voice to hide how it shakes. She's still stubbornly sticking to her denial of the existence of spirits and the mark. But I know she's already accepted it. After all, she went through it herself last night. Ghosts and curses don't exist. Why'd this have to happen to me? Haru is startled at the sudden knock. A visitor in the middle of the night? I don't need Mary to know it's a mark bearer. Sorry to impose on you so late. A tall, thin man walks in. His skin is as white as a sheet, and dark circles nearly swallow his eyes. It's almost like a dead person standing before us. You're Bilicium and Haru, right? I heard about you and the mark from Yasuka before I came here. Something about Miss Zoo, too. Sounds like you had a rough night. He seems to know Yasuka. She'll be following through on her promise and sent him to help us. Well, let's get introductions done. I'm Shuji Daemon. I think you can guess my occupation. Wearing this thing means I don't have to explain, thank goodness. He gestures to the stethoscope around his neck. What kind of business brings a doctor like you here? Damon's eyes flicker over at the suspicion in Haru's tone. No need to be so defensive. I have the cursed scar, same as you. The mark. He unbuttons his shirt to reveal a familiar mark on the left side of his chest. It just suddenly appeared one day. Though to be honest, I never thought it happened to me. Maybe it's punishment for being stupidly cautious about it. Curious? Did you know about the mark before Yasuka told you about it? Yeah, that's right. There's mentions of a strange scar in my grandpa's records as a military physician. I did some personal research. A military physician records would mean they'd be from the Second World War, more than 50 years ago. But that doesn't add up. Rumors of the mark only started about a month ago. If it was mentioned in those records, the rumors would be much older. There's a reason for that. Patients with the symptoms were kept in a secret army laboratory. Patients with the symptoms were kept in a secret army laboratory. After the war, all top secret documents related to the lab were burned, except the clinical records I found. A secret lab, huh? That's kind of hard to believe. Dr. Damon, you don't mean to say the mark was used as some sort of biological weapon? Every country has at least one or two soldiers who were divinely possessed. People only call on gods when they're in trouble. It was the end of the war, and they were backed in a corner. How unscientific. Don't you think so, Mr. Bilicium? True, it kind of is. We can't deny it's possible. What, are you serious? I can see why Yasuka gave you her stamp of approval. The way you consider every possibility is indeed admirable. That open-mindedness must allow you to face the supernatural. However, it's hard to picture the mark being used as a weapon. It seems the 13th Army Engineering Lab was developing something. It was called the Kannon Soldier. Kannon Soldier? That makes me think of the Bodhazdav cannon 50 years ago, and the Buddha statues. It can't be. Dr. Damon, where is that lab? Unfortunately, I have no idea. Sorry. The documents my grandfather kept don't give any details about it. I see. Hey, Mr. Bilicium, that 13 Army Engineering Lab? It's the shelter Zakawa went to. She pulls out her old map. I'd want to keep it a secret, but as I'd rather not die from this mark, I'll tell you. This shows the entrance to the 13th Army Engineering Lab. Whoa, are you serious? In his excitement, he starts coughing. My apologies. Where did you get that, Haru? My grandfather passed 6 months ago. We were sorting his belongings. Isn't the idea of a secret lab just fascinating? So I thought I'd look into it. And then Miss Zakawa, stole it. I accidentally let it slip to her. She loved strange experiments like that, so it probably stuck with her. I thought as much, though. Whatever turned her into that monster is down there in that secret lab. That's a pretty unscientific line of reasoning. Using the occult to turn yourself into a monster is utter nonsense. But if there's a scientific method behind it, I'll have to consider it. I suppose that's just how she is. Was your grandfather involved with the lab in some way, Haru? He could have been. All I know is he was an engineer with the rank of captain. Wait, hold on. You're both grandchildren of people involved with an engineering lab, and now both of you have the mark? Yes, that would be correct. That and our lab coats are probably all Haru and I have in common. From what we understand, people with the mark appeared in the secret lab 50 years ago. There might be something there that'll help us find the truth behind the curse. That's also the origin of the Kannon Soldier, a name that reminds me of the statue, the traces of Miss Zhu in the shelter. It might all be connected to the Buddha statues that were stolen from H Shrine. Dr. Damon gave us a lot of info. We'll have to thank Yasuka for introducing him to us. The fates are indeed mysterious. Dr. Damon, will you help us? Yes, of course. Just don't expect anything physical. Are you sick? You don't look so well. Yes, something like that. I don't practice what I preach. Haha. His dry laugh sounds like he's deflecting. He's abnormally thin for a man his age. It's possible that he's gravely ill. So we're heading to the shelter? About that. We were stopped from going further by a locked door. That strange old man was there, too. I doubt he'll cooperate with us, though. It'll be difficult to break in from there. Where did you enter the shelter? A manhole on K Mayamachi North Road. I see. She opens the map and studies it. You're right, an entrance is there. But there seems to be one other one. It's at M Now South Alley. Have you tried going there? No, not yet. Then let's go there. Hopefully we can get in. New info is added to the spirit file. Rumors of Kannon Soldier. Alright, so let's head back to the South Alley. Or not back. We've never been there before, I don't believe. I think we came from another direction. So this is another way of going into that pothole. We reached M Now South Alley. Like the North Road, it's silent and empty. Yeah, North Road. The map doesn't specify the location of the entrance, just that it's here. We'll have to search for it. I mean, there's only one I'm sorry, what? Even though this is a residential area, the street is completely deserted. Oh, okay. I thought maybe they were like, oh, the window, somebody is looking at us. Which would have been really creepy, I'm not gonna lie. I would not have been comfortable with that. Okay. Oh. There are traces of the name of the store up by the roof. It looks like it's closed now. Okay. Pothole? Yeah. I assumed it was the only pothole on the entire street. That's interesting that there's a couple of other locations to look at. There's a manhole. Unlike K Mayamachi, this road only has one. I was just saying that. I'm sure this is the place. The manhole lid has a place to grip it, just like the one at K Mayamachi. This has to be it. Still, this is strange. Why doesn't the public have any idea about this underground shelter? You'd think the sewer department would, at least. How the hell should I know? It was probably hushed up so those involved didn't get in trouble. They supposedly performed some terrible experiments in there after all. Does she sound kind of excited? I bet the terrible experiments fascinate her. Oh. Is she gonna be like, friend turned enemy on us? When I lift the lid, a musty smell greets me. Ugh, this smells familiar. Like the other entrance, the hole goes deep. Thankfully, there's a ladder here too. All right, time to go down. Go ahead, Mr. Bilicium. Haru and I descend into the dark world hidden beneath H City. What awaits us down in that darkness? Will we find the truth we're seeking? Or a hell smeared with blood? Why would you say that? I'm listening to the song. It's actually a very pleasant song. I don't know how long it goes, but hopefully it'll kind of continue playing on as we go forward and stuff. We can hear the whole thing. The sight that greets us at the bottom is the same as what we saw at Kei Mayamachi. The looming concrete walls and the suffocating stagnant air. We weren't wrong to assume that the two places are connected. So, this is the engineering lab? It's even more dreary than I expected. Wait, do you hear that song? If it's not some kind of prank, then maybe the spirits of the soldiers are wandering around and singing. You have no proof of that. It's entirely unscientific. Shut up about that crap. Sorry. Still, it's a little unsettling to hear an army song all the way down here. It's got to be a supernatural phenomenon. You mean it couldn't just be the radio from the old man? I mean, okay, granted, he's on the other side, and I don't know how far away this is compared to the other place. But you don't think other homeless people with like a radio might be like, well, it is kind of weird, yeah. It's a military song, so okay. You know what? Fair enough. Could be. It's a blood stain. There's an area within the stain that is lighter colored than the rest. Oh, it gives me the option to feel it? Great. I run my fingers over it and realize that something is stuck to the floor. I keep scratching at it until it starts to crease, and I manage to pull it up off the floor. Found a worn-out talisman. When I pick up the worn-out talisman, covered in sticky blood, I feel warmth flow through me. Gross. I did get soul power though, so maybe okay. The worn-out talisman crumbles silently in my hand, but unfortunately I'm still left with blood residue. Alright. Forward or backwards? Heads or tails? Let's go backwards. Move down the rear. Oh. So there's a door here, which I suspect is the way... Oh, that is blood. There's just more blood. Okay. There are pitch black stains. Is this blood? What? Impossible. This much blood would be... But doesn't that other thing bother you too? I'm not an idiot. Of course I'd notice. That spot without any stains? It looks like something was posted here. There's a clearly defined clean space on the wall as if something had been there. It looks like it avoided being sprayed with blood because something was originally posted here. A poster or bulletin, something like that. Well, it's illegible now. Let's feel. The stains seem to be old blood. It crackles and breaks off into flakes when I run my fingers over it. Do I have any tools? I don't. Okay. I don't have any tools, guys. I did not come prepared for this. All right. We're going to go backwards because I think going through the door means we're going to carry on in a direction that we don't necessarily want to go. Oh, no. Okay, okay, cool. So we're gonna start with this. Pitch black stains. I open my eyes wide and stare at the white space that might have been a poster. I only end up drying out my eyes. I mean, that's a little funny. The stains seem to be old blood. Alright, and I get nothing from it. Cool. Alright. A trail of blood leads to the ladder at the entrance. Someone trying to escape? Maybe. This looks like an emergency light. This place is abandoned. Has a power generator been running for all these years? I guess we move forward. I keep expecting, like, the light to flick up and then there'd be somebody like that. Hi. Something flows swiftly down the pipes. I'm sorry, what? Did we just flush a ghost down the drain? Went to the right, I guess? There's like a humming in the background that's like a little bit louder here. Okay, so we went to the right. Intersection B. Okay. The dried blood has blackened on the floor. There's quite a lot. Whoever left it probably died. Well, I peek into the waterway and see something floating. I reach for it as I hold onto the edge. Somehow I manage to grab it. Found a worn-out talisman. When I pick up the worn-out talisman, I feel warmth flow through me. Wonderful. The worn-out talisman crumbles once again, but I also washed my hands of the gross, disgusting blood that was on them. Let's go to the left. A dead end. Yeah. It does look like there's only a wall ahead, but a breeze? I feel a draft coming from in front of us. But all that's there is a wall. Interesting. So there's like a door. Okay. 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 So, northeast dead end. We need to remember that. Northeast dead end is important. I'm saying this for me as well as for you. We're going to go straight forward. This one looks the same. Oh, the sound has changed. It's like warped. Okay. That means nothing. We're going to go right. Outside lab number 2. We dry our eyeballs out once again, only to come to the same conclusion we once did before. Alright, I don't know if this is what I want to be doing. So, I am going to 100% backtrack. And I do believe that left would be back the way we came. So we're gonna go forward. Oh, we immediately come. When I step in view of an iron door that appears before me, the air clearly shifts. Goosebumps rise. A presence is approaching. There's an instant beeping, like from a telegraph. Keep going, freeze, turn back. We're gonna turn back. I turn on my heel and go away. I turn on my heel and go back the way we came without looking back. It doesn't seem like the presence is following. We've managed to escape. Went to the left? Is that the direction I want to go? Central Passage S. Okay, we're going back. We're going all the way back to the... We're going to go straight. We're going all the way back to the... past the ladder to the original door. Yeah, okay. So I didn't get myself all mixed up and turned around. That's good. Oh, thank goodness. Let's start with this door. It's a thick iron door. The keyhole isn't rusted. I could open it if I had the key. Alright, well, never mind then. I could have done that before. And I didn't. I feel like since I brought her, we should have, like, a bit more of a map. So, left was the creepy dude, so we're gonna go forward. It's a thick iron door. The keyhole isn't rusted. Oh, I don't have a key for this? Okay. So now we're gonna go... Right? Right? We're gonna... We're gonna keep going. I shrug and keep moving forward. Yeah. Live or die. The beeping becomes gradually louder, almost as if it's trying to tell me something. Long, short, long, short, short, long. Long, short, long, short, short, long. The sequence. Long, short, long, short, short, long. Just keep repeating this code. What in the world does it mean? I don't know the answer to that. Buddha, Buddha, Buddha. Buddha? Buddha? Wrong. The darkness tightens around my throat like a noose. Without oxygen, my brain instantly shuts down. Game over. I like that it didn't show me what my enemy was. Like, I feel like if you have a quick death early in the game, that's the way it should be, because then you don't feel like, from the last save? No! Oh no. Okay. Okay, so I'm bringing you guys back. I'm back to searching the tunnels, and I'm now at outside lab 2, right? And this basically says the same thing. Rub my hands over it, it flakes off, but there's nothing there. Blood stain doesn't show me anything, and the door is not clickable. So I have no opportunity to actually do anything with this door. So I wanted to bring you back for that. Because it looks like we are not even considered, it's not even considered an option. To the right and to the left are the one is the space with the air that we can feel coming from the wall, and the other is just a blank wall with nothing notable. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to know what the answer to the SOS signal is. So I'm gonna try and explore a little bit more. Let's see if we find something, and we can't go down there. So we're gonna go straight forward. A trail of blood leads to the ladder at the entrance. Someone is trying to escape. Oh, no. Where do we want to go? To the left. Right? I've already forgotten. Goosebumps rise. A presence is approaching. There's an incessant beeping like that from a telegraph. We're gonna freeze. I freeze in place. Live or die. So we know it's not Buddha. The beeping becomes gradually louder, almost as if it's trying to tell me something. 11121. 121221. Sequence. Alright, we're gonna look it up and see if it's what it is in the real world, because I'm curious. Alright, so whatever this is, it's not American Morse code, because I just noticed that it said American Morse code. So it's either heaven or soul. So let's start with heaven. No, so it's soul. So it's not Buddha and it's not heaven, it is soul. And I don't know how we were supposed to know that. See, I don't like stuff like that, because I feel like I'm kind of messing up the game But like, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to get this information from. Actually, let's turn back. We run away, right? We survive. So it doesn't seem like the presence is following us. Hooray! So the only thing that I can think is that I have the wrong partner with me. So I'm going to go and get the guy, the sick doctor, and see if he doesn't know Morse code. And then if he does, all right, fair enough. I just had the wrong climb the ladder, yes. I had the wrong partner. And the right partner would give me the answers that I was looking for. If that doesn't do it, I genuinely don't know how I'm supposed to know the answers to these things. And that's a little bit bothersome because it's like, well, do they just want us to like fail and just kind of, I don't know. It just seems like that's not what they intended. Go down. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem elegant. It seems like using a sledgehammer on a lock when they give you lockpicks. All right, let's see if he doesn't. Okay, the goosebumps are rising. The beeping from the telesgraph, and we're gonna keep going because freezing and keep going doesn't matter. Louder and louder, trying to tell me something. The sequence just keeps repeating. This code, what in the world does it mean? See, it doesn't. Okay. Soul. So, I don't know how, like I said, I don't know how we're supposed to know that. Maybe it was something I missed earlier on when the conversation was going back and forth at the mansion. I hear a quiet voice. Point to your soul. Point to my head, point to my heart, point to my stomach. Stomach. No, interesting. So I was told in, like, I think it's Buddhism, and I might be wrong about that, but that your stomach or the middle, your belly button, really, is like the point of origin, right? Because your umbilical cord is what like brings you to life from your parents, and then when that's cut, it's like, you know, bringing you back from it's the point of like how life starts is from like the umbilical cord. Slide again. So yeah, so I was kind of thinking, well, maybe it's like one of those things where, because right, the Buddha statue, all of that, that it would be the stomach. Your stomach is the center of your being, and where your soul is basically put into your body or whatever. So that would be the Eastern philosophy, which is your stomach. The Western philosophy would be your heart, so in your chest. So we'll see if maybe that's what they wanted from us is that your soul is in your chest. Because I don't believe any religions believe that your soul lies or exists in your head. As silly as that might sound, but I don't believe so. So let's see how wrong I am. We point to the heart. Oh, he's a doozy. All right, interesting. Without oxygen, my brain instantly shuts down.
Alright, we're pointing to the soul, which apparently is thine head. Okay. What's your next question? Oh, no more questions. The beeping suddenly stops. And we survived, even though technically we didn't. We chose every wrong answer first. Ugh, seriously? Amazing. A real supernatural event. You were no help. I don't know why I brought you along. Damon seems pleased. Glad you enjoyed it. I'm sure this will happen again, but there's no need to tell him that. Is it safe now? Yeah, probably. Then let's keep moving. Why do I bring these people? They're all useless. There's a pitch black stain. Let's feel it with our hands. Okay. There's a lot of pitch black stains, guys. And I can't go through that door. It seems to be locked. Hold on. Open door and went through. So just because I can't look at it doesn't mean that I can't go through it. The air in this room is musty. At first glance, I'd say it's part of a medical facility. It looks like an operating room. And this smell must be... Oh, there it is. Bilicium, sorry, but could you shine the light over there? I shine the flashlight as directed and find a corpse. Damon crouches down and begins to study it. Whoa, it's pretty old. You might be better off having an archaeologist or anthropologist look at this. Damien skillfully examines the body. When they're done, they stand up again. The corpse is odd, extremely odd. The cervical vertebrae is severed, but the cut's a mess. Some kind of small bladed object did it most likely, though it clearly wasn't cut with a surgical tool. I cannot even imagine why anyone would do something so cruel. The head was severed with a tool, huh? It's too old. The corpse isn't enough. Someone should have left behind records. It might be wise to search the room. Yeah, good idea. New info was added to the spirit file in the lab. I'm sorry, what? I didn't see him, so I don't know what was going on there. I just heard the noise. I open the wire mesh door and peek inside, but I don't see anything. I go to close the door and see a paper stuck to the backside. Yay, I found a murder talisman. That was English, I swear. A murder talisman. Oh. It's a metal cabinet. Some of the doors are open, but most are locked tight. Let's put our hands inside. I search the ones that are open. I find a notebook titled Research Records and an army short sword. The letters in the notebook have faded, but I can still read it. The experiment miraculously sucks this divine protection. The statue ornated from the 8th shrine created by line statue makers, using chisel donated by same family, sever head, tool together become the key, finally our dearest wish. There's nothing else written. Got research record 1, projectile short sword. It mentions a chisel. Does it mean those used for sculpting? Yeah, most likely. It's hard to believe, but did they actually use that to sever the heads? It's unbelievable doing something like that. Oh, that's pretty awful, actually. So I don't know if you guys have ever messed with chisels before, but they're normally used for like woodworking or sculpting like stone, and they are a pretty thick metal blade that you have to constantly keep sharp so that you have a nice, clean, smooth line. I don't know about trying to behead somebody with one though, because you need a hammer to do it. It's a cabinet with a glass door. Looks like something's inside. Alright, let's open it. I open it and search around. I find bells attached to the handle and a notebook with a black cover. It's titled Disposal Vat Magit Record Management. I flip the cover open. Dispose 200 super dimension. Suddenly iron door half spiritualized. Hypothesize focused mystical forces. Need sacred object to erase. Safety valve release code diamond. There's nothing else written. Got Kagura Suzu bells. Disposal vat record. What in the world are these notes going on about? Disposal, half spiritualization? I don't understand half of these words. Plus, those bells I found don't fit this place at all. I close the notebook and put it in my bag. Just then, something tangles around my hand. Huh? It's a thin thread. It seems to be human hair. It glitters pale gold in the light. What? The mark starts sucking at my blood. I ignore it and instead stare at the shining hair as if it's being pulled in. It's odd, but I get the real feeling that this moment, no, it's here, this place. I've been here before. The mark's color grows more vivid. A few hours left until death closes in. Mumble, mumble, mumble. Someone mumbles right next to me. Wait, that's not someone else. That's my own voice. As I thought, it's here. The words pour out from deep inside. I have absolutely no knowledge or control over them. Memories that aren't mine. Words and feelings I couldn't possibly know are falling in from my lips. Check the disposal vat. It must be behind that wall. Felt weird when standing in front of that wall. Bilicium? What's this all of a sudden? The instant Damien speaks, the voice stops. It's nothing. I just remembered something important. Are you honestly all right? Those were some rather odd mumbles. I'm fine, really. I just spaced out for a bit. For better or worse, Damon didn't clearly hear what I was saying. Still, though, that voice. Could it be that My old self, the one I lost along with my memories, was talking to me? The feeling I got when I saw that golden hair, maybe that's what triggered it. I haven't heard that other guiding voice for a while now. I guess all I can do is rely on my old self. The disposal vat beyond the wall. The voice said to find that. New info is added to the spirit file. Huh. It looks like it's been a number of years since this person died. The dried skin gives an appearance of a mummy. The cut behind the neck is jagged. It must have been cut with some kind of a tool. The light bulb is flickering weakly. Alright, so here's my theory. We don't hear the guiding voice like we once did because the guiding voice was the rabbit that was killed when it killed Mary. Mary's hair is the only, like, quote-unquote blonde, and the description of being golden hair makes me think that she's maybe still alive or still active? Maybe? Okay, so this is locked. So we can't go there. To the left? We move forward. We go to the right. We can't move forward. Okay. We go back. We move forward. We go north at the intersection and... Huh? An outline of a door is flickering faintly in the wall ahead of us. Hey, look at that! Huh? What, are you seeing odd things again? You can't see it? Unfortunately, no. Looks like Damon can't see the door. That's the spiritual. My mouth begins mumbling words that I don't recognize, all on its own. Oppose the spiritual with spiritual. If you touch it with a tool that honors the gods. The flow of words out of my mouth stops. Touch it with a tool that honors the gods. New info was added to the spirit file, flickering half-spirit door. A prototype weapon developed by the army in the shelter. A spring is installed in the hilt, but it's so flimsy that it's destroyed after one use, so it was never officially adopted. Shoot sword blade. A bell used in ancient Shinto dance rituals. It has 3 sets of small bells, 7, 5, and 3, also called a Miko bell. It's meant to be used by shrine maidens. I mean, they're used by shrine maidens in Shinto rituals, right? That's like to honor gods. Maybe. We're gonna feel it. I touch the door, but it just feels like a wall. Seems the door has no substance. Okay. Wish me luck, guys. I take out the Kagura Zuzu bell. Is just touching it okay? No. Have to. Strange words spill from my lips again. It's the priestess tool. If a man displays spiritual power, it'll be destroyed, so touch it silently. All I have is questions, but I have no choice but to trust the other me. I touched the bells to the door carefully, making sure not to make any noise. The next instant, the door physically appears. What? Wait! I'm not hallucinating, am I? I'm completely shocked. What magic did you conjure to do this? It just felt like it was the right thing to do. But I stare at the door. I sense an alarming presence. According to my own voice, if I can call it that, the disposal bat is beyond this door. I found some documents about it in the room with the operating table. It might be good to look through those. Let's be careful. That place is giving me a bad feeling. Alright, fair enough. We're gonna... Rumors of the Kannon Soldier. Yasuka sent a new mark bearer, Damon, to the mansion. He talks about a mysterious being called the Kannon Soldier he learned about from clinical records during World War II. Those documents also mention a scar similar to the mark. Everyone who had it worked in a specific army research facility. They were developed by the Kannon Soldier there at the end of the war. I don't really know what the Kannon Soldier is, but if everyone involved in the research got the mark, then I can't help but think they were trying to make a spirit into a weapon. But why would Damon, grandson of a researcher, and Haru, granddaughter of a lab engineer, suddenly get the mark now? Did the soldier's curse spread to the descendants or something? And then there's the 13th Army Engineer Lab. Haru agrees to tell us more about it. Her old map is of that lab, the same underground shelter we broke into earlier. The key to Zukawa's transformation and the stolen statue is likely there. So we'll have to go back again. The map shows another entrance on M. Knoll South Alley. Let's try looking around there this time. The research lab looks more like an operating room. The state it's in suggests that inhuman experiments took place here. I'd really like to leave this place, but we need to thoroughly check for any documents or tools left behind. Hatred clogs the air here, making it more dangerous than any of the other places we've seen. We could be attacked at any time. We must be prepared. We find documents and a Kagura Suzu bell in the cabinet. The files say something odd. Spiritualize the door. Release with sacred object. The Kagura Suzu bell is probably considered one. We also learn the safety valve release password is diamond. I'm bothered by a thin, blonde hair found between the pages. The moment I wonder if a foreigner was here, I hear a voice saying, "Check the disposal vat." What the? It's not the usual whisper in my ear. It's my own voice. I have no control over my mouth as it moves on its own. Are the fragments of my memory causing this? It keeps going. It's probably behind that wall. So weird. It's like I have some spiritual power. Yeah, sure, why not? There's a passage beyond the intersection that looks like a dead end. The iron door flickers in and out, and for whatever reason, I'm the only one who can see it. I can't believe this. Do I really have some sort of spiritual power? Oppose the spiritual within the spiritual. So do I have to use the sacred object? Or maybe sacred objects are effective against spiritual beings. Better remember that. We're gonna go for it. So the only thing that I feel a bit concerned about is that maybe I need the female, quote unquote, to use the bells to like actually like ring them without destroying the bells and me being killed. So that's possibly gonna be a bad ending, is if I walk through those doors, evil presence shows up and I can't use the bells. However, they might be just warning me that like, hey, don't forget the code is diamond. Which, in that case, I already know the answer to that, so we're good. So, open door and went in. We'll find out, won't we? I push open the iron door and we head inside. Whoa. This is amazing. On the other side of the door is a large, empty area reminiscent of a vault. Is this the disposal vat? It should be, but it's not quite what I expected. Something's on the ground. Looks like a sword. Got rusted army sword. I take what Damon picked up. I shine the flashlight around the area. Are these heads of Buddha statues? They're kind of just scattered around. This might be a garbage dump. Just then. Huh? A sound echoes off something heavy moving, and suddenly, the room is lit with a pale light. I have a rather bad feeling. Let's get out of here now. I try to open the door to get out, but it's locked. Impossible. Oh no. A cutting coldness invades and envelops my feet. My head snaps up and I see water pouring into the room like a giant waterfall. Water? It's ice cold. A polar bear swim is not something I've ever wanted to do. It quickly rises to our knees. I can't even feel my feet anymore. Water, underground. We have to get out of here. We'll die of hypothermia. Live or die. I have to remember what was written on those documents about the disposal vat. All I see near me are the Buddha heads. What should I do? Touch the diamond. Diamond, yeah? Safe. Alright, diamonds are good. I touch the diamond Arhat head. There's a heavy shudder and the sound of movement. Then the pooling water suddenly starts sweeping in one direction down into a drain. Oh! It's pulling us in. We survived. But at what cost? When I open my eyes, all I see is darkness. Ugh. I quickly lift my head and rub my eyes. My vision slowly comes back. This is an intersection in the underground shelter. Looks like we were drained out with the water and flushed down a pipe. We were lucky. I very nearly breathed a sigh of relief, but then I remembered Damon. That's right. Where's Damien? No need to be so worried. Haha, so it's you. It's been a while, you sneaky intruder. It's that old man I met in the passageway beneath Manhole Street. I tried to ask him about Damien, but... My jaw is nearly locked and my voice is gone. Don't try to talk just yet. The water here comes straight from that Team Mountain range, so it's deadly cold. You were submerged in it for near an hour, so you'll be slurring your words for a while. Relax, relax. Your friend's fine. So you, got somewhere to go back to? I nod as I groan. The old man's face brightens like the sun. Well, that's great. Not that I'm demanding a reward for saving you or nothing, but I'm pretty darn hungry. The man eyes me, his smile sharp. We get in the car, and even though it's the wrong season for it, I turn the heat on full blast. We dry off with towels and the like, but it doesn't stop our shivering for a long time. While this is going on, the old man... Phew, it's hot. Can I open a window? He's blatantly fanning himself in front of us. Okay, yes, in a way we owe him our lives. But even so, he's being a pain. Hang in there a little while longer. Damien shudders. You can see us shivering, can't you? How selfish can you get? It was an honest question, and it probably sucks for him, but we still keep the car like a sauna. After driving like that for a while, our teeth finally stop chattering. The man's name is Banshee Itu. That's how he introduced himself. But that obviously isn't his real name. As he sits next to me, Banshee gives off a savory smell, like freshly baked bread. It kind of cheers me up. Or at least it does for a few moments until I realize it's the stench of dried filth. So, Banshee, what were you doing in a place like that? Banshee remains silent. Are you listening to me? Don't feel up to talking yet. I'll tell you in exchange for food. I shouldn't be surprised. Life's rough. Wait, that should be my question. What were you two doing down there? It's a long story. I summarize everything we know about spirits and the mark until I catch up to when we met him in the underground shelter. So that's how it is, huh? He nods vigorously to himself. I wonder if you truly understand, old man. Damien's doubts are reasonable, but Banshee waves a hand dismissively. Of course I do. Who do you think I am? A terrible grudge is mucking up that underground shelter, and you guys are wrapped up in it now. His story suddenly sounds fishy. A grudge? Banshee, do you know what happened down there? I said I'm not talking about that yet. I was born into a noble family, so I've always had an ability to see things others can't. I stake my name, Banshee Itoro, on it, so you can trust me. There's a terrible grudge swirling there, and you've gotten swept up in it. He's got nothing to base his claims on, but I get the feeling he's on the right track. In that case, oh noble Lord Banshee, would you tell us, how do we overcome that whirlpool? Banshee replies with a magnanimous flourish. That should be obvious. Whirlpools always have a center. You've got to find that. The center? That swirling grudge And the spirit thing, is that what you called it? The birth of the spirit, the heart of the curse. Something like that should be left within that their swirling grudge. If you look for that, I'm sure then. He trails off. He gazes at the dark road, his mouth hanging open. It's like he's run out of batteries. Then what? What will happen? The black sky simply goes on forever before Banshee's eyes. Oh, that reminds me, Bilicium. Banshee calls out as soon as we enter the garage. Take this, just a little symbol of our friendship. Got underground shelter key. Is this a key for the underground shelter? Mm-hmm. I found it when I was popping in and out from that place. I held on to it. But I'll lend it to you for now, Bilicium. He just picked it up. Why is he acting like it's a favor? But I have no reason to refuse him. Thanks, I'll borrow it. Haru walks up to us. Oh, welcome back. Learn anything? Damien butts in before I can speak. Wait a second. You're not really considering. You haven't fallen for that suspicious old man's story, have you? Whoa, that's rude. If you want my opinion, a snooty punk like you should be trusted even less. Of course, Bilicium. You believe me, right? I mean, do I believe him? I feel like the answer is yes, I do. Because, one, look at that face. How can you not believe a face like that? But also, he hasn't really given me anything for free. Everything has been a trade, almost like evenly. You want information, I want food, kind of thing. And so I kind of feel like that's the thing, is like he's on the up and up. He's not going to give me anything for free. But he's going to... Do I not... Okay, reasons why I shouldn't believe him. He locked me out because he didn't trust me and I didn't know who he was. And then the second thing was I met him and he saved my life. Yeah, I trust him. He hasn't given me any reason not to so far as of yet. That's my good pal Bilicium for you. Well, I suppose if you're fine with it, then I won't worry about it. Anyway, changing the subject. Good grief. Can we just move on from talking about this? Banshee, you're hungry, right? Then dining room should have something. Oh, food! Food! Banshee bolts out of the garage and vanishes into the mansion. Haru gives me an exasperated look. Mr. Bilicium, you've got a crazy one on your hands this time. Nah, not crazy, just homeless. There's a difference. To appease the starving Banshee, I offer him some cup of noodles and sweet buns. Ooh, cup of noodles and sweet buns, huh? The epitome of hunger. He greedily begins scarfing it down like a starving dog. That was enough for 10 people. He devours all of it, and I'm reminded of a high-power vacuum cleaner.
Excellent!
Excellent! I can't do it as nearly as good as he just did it, but... I haven't been this full in forever. Ah, glad to hear it. Mind answering some questions? Why were you down in that shelter? Well, that's an easy one. Because it's my home. What? Been living there ever since I found it 10 years ago. It's not too shabby a place. Keeps me out of the rain and no damn brats messing with me. Though it gets a mite cold in winter. I don't know how to respond to that. Haru and Damien seem to be the same. It was a paradise for me because no one knows about it. Until a weirdo showed up about 6 months ago. Some woman doused in perfume. It was winter and I don't like stirring up trouble, so I just stayed away. That must have been Zakura. I nod. That is my thoughts as well. That was a month ago. I figured she must have up and left, so I went back. But now there's something strange. Which was? A damn walking Buddha statue! I know I'm pretty out there, but even I was shocked by that. I even got this weird scar. Oh no. Banshee removes his scarf, revealing a mark on his neck. You may not believe this, but that statue gave you that scar. I figured. It was the Kannon Soldier after all. The Kannon Soldier? How do you know that name? Some document I saw had it. It was an old plan to make a Buddha statue move with supernatural powers. A heavenly Buddha project weapon. Are you nuts? Spirit powers making something move? That's insane. Now, Haru, calm down. So those documents that you found, are they still around? Nope, I burnt them for warmth. I had a delicious roasted potato, too. How could you? Maybe take your own advice, Dr. Damien. Our measures of common sense seem to be rather different than this strange old man's. It's fine. My noggin works different from most people's. I got it all memorized. As you say, just tell us. We need to know about that project. The Heavenly Buddha Project was the pet project of some general at the end of the war. So they built that shelter for it. Ta-da! The 13th Army Engineering Lab. To make the Kannon Soldier thing, they did tests on Buddha statues. They were brought from some shrine or something somewhere. That must be 8 shrine. They did a bunch of stuff to infuse the statues with spiritual power. There was a monk from T Mountain, spiritual treasures from all over, but nobody thought anything actually come from it. The project was just an excuse to keep the fanatical general busy. At least, it was supposed to be. But one day the statue started moving. It went berserk throughout the lab and went crazy on a ton of people. The bloodstains and the old corpses in the shelter are probably the victims. Some people survived, but they had red, bite-like marks on them. The thing that went and wrecked the place, then it stopped and never moved again. No one knows what even triggered it. That's about everything it said. Haru and Damien are as white as a sheet. I probably am too. It's a hard story to believe, but he has no reason to lie to us. I think he speaks the truth. What? Are you kidding me? A statue going around killing people and cursing them? Impossible! Then how do you explain the mark on his neck? Logic would dictate that the moving statue he saw was the Kannon Soldier. The dormant soldier suddenly starts moving after 50 years? That might be the curse. That might be the cause of mine and Haru's marks. What if you flip that though? Both of your grandparents got the mark from the Kannon Soldier. When the soldier stopped moving, their marks disappeared. But with it started up again, you got them because you're their descendants. If that's true, then the children inherited their parents' fate. Haru can't seem to muster up any kind of counter-argument. I think she's in shock. I want to ask you something, old man. You say the Kannon Soldier stopped moving 50 years ago. But why? I think it was some spiritual person used a thingamajig to do something. So you have no idea. It's the most important part. Try to remember. It's not that easy, son. The mark might have made me forget. Taking his age into account, it's more likely it just completely slipped his mind. That is so rude. How dare you? It seems we must defeat the Kannon Soldier to be free of our marks. We'll have to figure it out on our own if he can't be of more help. You seem a pro at this, Bilicium. We'll be relying on you. I don't have spiritual powers or anything. But you've already faced down 4 different spirits, haven't you? A normal person wouldn't have survived. Now that he says it, I guess he's right. I have been hearing a mysterious voice a few times and having weird premonitions. I even caught myself unconsciously talking when we were down in the shelter. So what are you folks gonna do now? Good question. Investigate the soldier, investigate the statues, investigate the project. I guess we start with the project because that kind of encompasses everything. The project encompasses the statues and the soldiers. And then from there we would go to the statues. You know, like reverse engineer it. And then the soldier. Let's investigate the project in the shelter. I feel like that'll be the key to the mark. I guess we're going back in then. Haru's still kind of sulking, but she's at least recovered from her shock. We all share the same fate. It's too late to try to run away. Yep, you should find it there. The heart of everything that's causing the curse. You need that to stop the Kannon Soldier. That's what my gut's telling me. What are you going to do then? I'm full now, so I was going to go take a nap in that park nearby. I'll sit and wait until you fellas do something about that soldier. Wait, just a minute. You old fart. Didn't we just say that it's too late to run away? Okay, I get it. Well, you folks did feed me, so I guess I can help you. New info was added to the spirit file. The underground shelter inhabitant, other.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, we're partnering with him. He's just too much fun. So his power is 9, intelligence is 8, his spirit power is 12, and his dexterity is 7. Alright, let's go back into the alleyway. I don't know if that choice was the correct one or if it even matters. But let's hope. I could have sworn I saw 2 flashes. So maybe I'm going crazy. Go down. And we're going to go backwards this time. Move down rear path. Okay. Open the door with the underground shelter key. There's a single out-of-place Buddha statue. Its head has been cut off. Yeah, looks like it. There's a lot of blood on the ground. Alright, let's start with the box, I guess. It's a big iron box. There's a thin layer of dust on it, but it looks fairly intact. We'll feel it. Oh, good. Well, that's ominous. The box is packed with carelessly tossed Buddha statue heads. A real, actual head can clearly be seen among them. It's dry and mummified, but going by the long hair, it's probably female. Most likely one of the experiment's victims. Huh, so this is where it was. Let's take it and bring it to its owner. I thought you'd say that. Oh, just kidding. I feel Banshee gaze on me. New info is added to the spirit file. The box in the warehouse, number 1. I can only carry one head. I need to choose which one to take. Oh no. Merciful, grieving, angry woman's head. I didn't take anything. I pushed the back button. It's a Buddha statue. The headless Buddha statue is covered in dust. There's a talisman stuck to the neck as if it's taking the place of a missing head. Found a worn out talisman. When I pick it up, the worn out talisman, I feel warmth flow through me. I got soul power. The worn out talisman crumbles silently in my hand. I feel like maybe we shouldn't have taken that. Alright, I want to... Oh, I didn't ever read these guys. Madoka Haru. I think I read hers. A major pharmaceutical company researcher. She believes in cool and collected logic and violently rejects anything supernatural. She doesn't have an artistic bone in her body, possibly because of her lineage, so naturally she can't play any instruments. Shuji Damien, male, doctor, decided to become a doctor because of his army physician grandfather. He currently works at a clinic in H City. His reputation suffers due to his dry bedside manner, but he's very skilled. Rumor says his health is failing too. Banshee Itur, male, unemployed. A kooky old man living in the underground shelter. He's read through nearly all the notable documents left there and is extremely knowledgeable about them. He claims to have spiritual powers and truly does seem to see spiritual things. I mean, he does have at 12 for spiritual power, so I do believe him as well. All right. So we read through this, right? No, this is new. Somehow we make it out of the freezing water trapped in a disposal vat and return to the mansion with a strange homeless man calling himself Banshee. He's been living in the shelter and he has surprising info. He says he saw Zukawa going in and out and then saw a Buddha statue walking around. He tells us of some research document he had to burn for warmth. They detailed something called a Heavenly Buddha Project, some mumbo-jumbo about using spiritual power to make a statue into a weapon. They gathered numerous sacred objects, including a massive number of statues from the shrine of H City. There was no way it'd work. The war was almost over, but it moved. The spirit weapon named Kannon Soldier moved. The soldier went berserk in the shelter and killed people. Those who escaped had a scar, most likely the mark. What's alarming, though, hard to believe, is the walking statue Banshee saw, and that's when he got the mark, which means the Kannon Soldier is moving once more. That might be why Damien and Haru, descendants of the involved, now have the mark as well. It's unclear what made the soldier move, past or present, but we have to find a way to stop it. Maybe there are records of how they stopped it 50 years ago. Banshee doesn't remember, only that some person with spiritual power used something to do something. I guess all we can do is search the shelter. I have to trust both my past and present self. We find a pile of heads in a large iron box. They're mostly statue, but buried with them is a human head. It's been mummified, but appears to be female. So this is where it went. Bring it back to its owner. There I go, unconsciously speaking again. Which one am I bringing with me? All the heads are pretty heavy, so I can probably only take one. Ah, okay. I suspect it's the woman's head, but in the same turn, I don't know. Ooh. It got me a little bit. Not gonna lie, it got me a little bit. Not nearly as bad as like the first time. I forgot to look around. So we're gonna go right. Just kidding, we're gonna go left. Just ignore me, it's fine. This is the lab. Okay. I think it's the woman's head, and I think I bring it to her. That's my guess. So now we're gonna go to the right. That's what I'm gonna go for. I think that that's the best answer. Quote unquote. Alright guys, wish me luck, because if this is not the answer, I don't know. I can only carry one. Which one will I choose? Woman's head. Got the woman's head. Don't mind me, Buddha statue that's just standing there, headless. That I took the talisman off of, which makes me concerned. Feel like maybe you should have just left that talisman there, but you know, it's cool. We're gonna go. It looks like it's been a number of years since this person died. The dried skin gives the appearance of a mummy. The cut by the neck is jagged. It must have been cut with some kind of tool. The head I picked up earlier might fit on its corpse's neck. Should I try attaching the head? Yes. I try attaching the human head, but it doesn't fit very well. Oh. Okay. That's not comforting. It's a thick iron door. The keyhole isn't rusted, so I could open it. Okay, let's open this. And where does this lead to? We went inside. Center passage north. Okay. Oh, okay. We move forward. I can hear a victory chant coming from the other side of the intersection. We're gonna keep going. I shrug and keep moving forward. I take one step forward and an electric current runs through my body and my muscles seize up. Live or die. You lie about. What are you doing there? You have time to be loafing around, do you? Recite these bases' slogans at once. Cheer for the final battle in the homeland. Oh no. Cheer for the final battle in the homeland. 100 million honored deaths, luxury, give birth for the sake of the country. Ooh, 100 million honored deaths. Okay. Once more, declare our resolve to strike back with air raids. Resolve to strike back with air raids. We won't lose even if our country is reduced to ash. Show your determination. Oh no. We won't lose. Suppress your desires until we win. Send forth 100 million fireballs. You unpatriotic piece of shit. Oh, that was wrong. Our army has fought bravely from the southern tropics to the northern Arctic, but the tide still hasn't turned in our favor. What do you think? Can we win this crusade? Can we win the crusade? We should surrender. There's a chance. There's a chance if the kamikaze winds blow? You call yourself an imperial soldier using wishy-washy words like that? Kamikaze soldier, maybe? A voice as cold as ice pierces my heart. Finally, the world loses all its color. Game over. Let's decide again. I actually feel like, I feel like these... Keep going. I feel like I know what the second one is for sure. The third one, I would say Kamikaze Heart. Just like, you know, you just go for it, you know, like, but I'm not 100% sure. Cheer for the final battle. Luxury is the enemy. Give birth for the sake of the country. I wanted to read those because I don't think I read them out loud. The first time on. The first go about. Declare a resolve to strike back with air raids. We won't lose even if our country is reduced to ash. Show your determination. Suppress your desires until we win. Land of the gods is indestructible. The land of the gods is indestructible. Yeah, okay. That's the one I thought it was. Our army has fought bravely from the southern tropics to the northern, but the tide still hasn't turned in our favor. What do you think? Can we win this crusade? We should surrender. If a kamikaze wind blows. It's gotta be if a kamikaze wind blows, right? Yeah, okay. Because he didn't like the wishy-washy of there's a chance, so. You're pretty promising for a new recruit. Keep a good eye on this squad. Farewell. Aye aye, Capitan. We have survived. Wonderful. Alright, let's, look at things. No noise is coming from this pipe. I guess that's no water is flowing through it. Alright, well, to the left we go then. Hello. Human bones. It looks like the person was crushed to death. What does that say? Something written on the wall in blood. It says Eisen? Lab 3? It seems to be locked. Oh. Move down to the rear. Okay, so it's locked. We can't get in. And that's Lab 3. We came from the right. Let's go straight. Oh, I already love this door. Oh, I already love this door. Yep, yep. This is a good door. The door is stained with blood. Upon closer look, it looks like countless handprints. But the keyhole is perfectly fine. I could open the door if I had the key. I opened the door with the underground shelter key. But when I turn the knob to go in, the door doesn't open. Oh, what's the fuss? The door won't open. I'm sure I unlocked it, though. I turned the key again just to double check. But I was right, it's unlocked. What's going on? I try turning the knob slowly, but it stops moving halfway. It's almost as if someone on the opposite side is pushing against the door to keep it closed. It seems the dead are rejecting us. Read all the records, speak to that woman. All the records and that woman. Are the records referring to the research records? I try to prompt my old self to answer, but there's no reply. No choice left, I'll turn to Banshee. Let's keep looking. We can come back here later. There could be something we still need to do. Alright, awesome. We go right. Did we do this already? No, we didn't. This is new. Oh, I saw you. Handprints on the wall. An abandoned skeleton. Feel it. I managed to pry it out. The whole corpse looks like it might crumble at any second. I found a worn-out talisman. When I pick up the worn-out talisman, I feel warmth flow through me. It is the only warmth I feel in this place. The worn talisman crumbles silently. It's a thick iron door. The keyhole isn't rusted. I could open it. So I do. And we go forward. I think we made it to the other side. I think this is where the manhole... yeah. So we came here with the idol, pop singer. It's so eerily quiet after everything we've just been through. We can't look at that anymore. It won't let me go forward. Okay. So let's go up the ladder. Just for the sake of... If I climb the ladder, I can get above ground. Yes. Let's just see what's going on above ground for a minute. Climbing out of the manhole, we see that we're on K Mayamachi North Road. We managed to find a way out. It wouldn't hurt to go back to the mansion for now. It'll be a pain to get back to M Now South Alley for the car, but... An old vending machine doesn't look like it's been restocked in a while. It's mostly empty. Yep, we're gonna go back to the mansion. I feel like the her they're talking about is her. And if I'm wrong, I don't know. Oh. Yes, we're gonna save. We're gonna save there. Okay. And then we're gonna go back. Now we have the opportunity to go to North Road or South Alley. Let's go back to the North Road. And we're gonna go down. I wanted to see if she had anything to say if we came into this section, but it looks like nothing. Which is fine. Fine by me. But yeah, we're going to... I'm gonna go to the right first. Open the door with the shelter key, and we go inside. Ah. It's the operating room in the southern section. But on this table is a corpse with a severed head, no surprise. A headless corpse is lying there. So maybe she is the corpse we were talking about? It's missing not only its head, but also all of its limbs. What kind of torture was this? A headless corpse. Going by what remains of the clothing, it looks like it was a woman. Okay. A rustled filing cabinet. It's a well-built metal cabinet. Whatever's inside should be intact. Let's feel it. The door is locked. Let's use a tool. Rusted army sword. I pull the rusted army sword off my belt. I've taken it out, but I can't think of a way to use it. Alright. Range short sword? Okay, so... Oh, wait, hold on. Okay. A headless corpse is lying on top of the operating table. The head I picked up earlier might fit on this corpse's neck. Should I try attaching the head? Yes. I try attaching the human head. The human head fits the severed neck perfectly. The world suddenly distorts. A horrific scene appears before my eyes. This is the woman on the table. Some kind of experiment is being performed. I must be seeing the past. The sound triggers a change in views. Men in lab coats holding tools, but they don't look like they're alive. The ghosts of the researchers seem to be stuck forever in a nightmare of the past. I can hear the men whisper from my left side. Hey, she's awake. Don't worry, she'll be dead soon anyway. True enough. Then something else interrupts. You. This time it's a cold whisper from my right. You can hear me, can't you? Don't be afraid. Soon. The voice on my right cuts off and I can hear the men in the lab coats again. Live or die. Hey, woman, which of these tools do you want us to use to cut your neck? This is it for you, so we'll let you decide. Chisel, scalpel, saber. Chisel. Ha 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 ha. Good answer. You're pretty smart. Unfortunately, you'll soon be saying goodbye to that clever head of yours. It's valuable material. We'll cut it off nicely. Safe. Shut up. You're just like a pig. This is why I hate handling women. Be patient. We've finally found a clue. Not yet. Wait. Now. Give you power. The whisper from my right falls silent. Yeah, I never dreamed breaking from our usual method would go so well. Hey, pig, do you understand? Do you know the correct combination of head and body for the heavenly Buddha? Female head, female body, female head, male body, male head, female head, male body. Precisely, and that's why we need your head. Gladly offer it up for the sake of our beloved country. Okay. The problem is the soul freshness. Regardless of refrigeration, it's all up to the quality of the cut. Though there are only so many available methods, this is all the equipment we have. Then to the freezer. The voice on the left cuts out. A determined voice echoes in my right ear. Hate, 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 hate this whole world. Tear it to pieces. The power to do that. I'll give it all to you. In the place where you hear me now. Hate them, destroy them, understand? Hate them, destroy them, understand. Yes, yes, yes. Yes? This is my only option, so, you know. Good. Destroy them. When I return to my senses, I'm standing beside the operating table. And I survived. That's good. Am I possessed? Just then, something slides out of the hand of the corpse on the table. A got small key. What just... saw. No, more importantly, the voice that kept speaking from my right side. Who was that? You don't look so good. Did you see something weird again? Yeah, actually... I explained to Haru what I just saw. A horrible tragedy happened here in this place. It's possible that whatever triggered it might have been whoever that voice belonged to. Who cares about that? Erasing the mark is more important right now. Well, I'm not sure about that part, but Haru's right. This isn't helping us accomplish our goal. We need to search for whatever gave birth to the spirit. Let's keep looking. The small key I just found might belong to the cabinet here. I turn my attention to the mark on my wrist. It isn't coming yet. I glance over at Haru, but they don't seem to be acting differently at all. Death should be slowly closing in on us, but it seems we still have some time. What's important right now is making sure we survive. New info was added to the spirit file. Mysterious human experiments. Other. I am so sorry that was how you ended up passing on to the other world. No one should feel that. It's a rusted filing cabinet. Well built. I open the door using the small key. Inside is an old gun and some research records. Suddenly, berserk, severe damage, suture chanting, complete insanity. Only those who made themselves deaf managed Rama sane, half spiritualized, like disposal vat, need sacred object, attack, destroy human head. The heart of all this, need to destroy human head. That's all it says. Got gun with blanks. Research record 3. Yeah. So... do I still have a human head? No, I don't. Suddenly berserk. A gun that requires gunpowder, allowed to frighten animals away from crops. Use earplugs while firing. Oh, so we use this to keep ourselves from going insane. So I think we already basically took care of that. We're gonna go straight ahead. Straight ahead. We're gonna go for it, guys, because it said that we needed the records and that we needed to speak with her. And we spoke with her and we got the records, so the door won't open. Just kidding. We're not gonna do that. We're gonna possibly go the wrong direction. Yeah. So... to the right, I believe? Outside lab 1. Okay, this was lab 1, which we already looked at, right? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go the other way straight ahead. east, west. And then we're gonna go left. I think this is where the door magically appeared. Right. We're gonna go straight ahead. Okay. To the right. I believe this door wasn't ever opened. I believe we... Yeah, we opened and went... Okay, opened and went inside. It's set up the same way as the operating room. This place may have been used for the same experiments. There might be records left behind. Let's look. It looks like it's been a number of years since this person died. The dried skin gives the appearance of a mummy. There is a cut on the neck, just like all the others. Nothing inside the metal cabinet. It's a cabinet with a glass door. It looks like there's something in it. Let's feel it with our hands. I open it and search inside. I find a notebook titled Research Records and a small gun. The notes have deteriorated, but I can just make out what they say. 70th new experiment, Azura statue. Connect male body and female head. Success. Then, natural phenomenon. Spirit frequent, hard, continue experiments. That's all it says. Got research record 2 and palm pistol. Notes on the experiments, huh? You better give it a read. Oh, I will. It's a rusted filing cabinet. Well built. Whatever's inside will be intact. When I open the door, a cloud of dust flies up and blocks my vision. A notebook with a black cover is left inside. Got experimental unit correspondence code. Experimental unit correspondence code. It seems to be a document about cryptograms. Inside it says, Kannon, weapon code name. 3 dots, 1 line, 2 dots, 2 lines. I'm sorry. Hold on a second, okay? I just need to... Dot, 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 line, dot, dot, line, line. That's a dance, I'm pretty sure. Heavenly Buddha, project code name. Heavenly Buddha. It's gonna be dot, line, dot, line, line, dot, line, line, dot. Soul, human heads used as materials. Soul. Line, dot, dot, line. Looks like Wabun code. It's similar to Morse. Ah, Wabun. Interesting. Let's look up Wabun code. Wabun code. Japanese text in Morse code is a form of Morse code used to send Japanese language in kana characters. Unlike international Morse code, which represents letters of the Latin script, in Wabun each symbol represents a Japanese kana. For this reason, Wabun code is also sometimes called kana code. Cool. A non-Latin Morse code. When Wabun code is intermixed with International Morse code, the pro sign do is used to announce the beginning of Wabun, and the pro sign sin is used to announce the return to international code. Oh, so when you mix the two. Pro signs for Morse code. Very, very interesting stuff, huh? So I'll leave that in so that way you guys get a bit of a tidbit of history, because I think that's quite cool. All right. I think that was something we needed a while back, to be quite honest with you. But that's okay. We're going to go to the left. We're basically backtracking all the way back to the entrance. I want to see if there's... You're still there. That's cool. Feel. Packed with Buddha statues. It's a big... Oh. Interesting. Okay, so it doesn't even give me the option to, like, pick anything after that now. Huh. Okay. So we can't pick up, like, another Buddha head. Because I was almost thinking that might be part of, like, the thing that we need to do. But it's not. We don't. That's good. So I believe we have done everything. Actually, wait, we're gonna go, hear me out, guys. I know it sounds crazy, but I think that we need to go back into that alcove with the Buddha heads where we got flushed away to just make sure we didn't miss anything. Oh, that's not where it is. I think it's up here. We come here and then we go left. Yeah. So then from here we go left. Okay. Have I lost my mind? I may have. 100%. Oh, we turn right and then we turn left? No. Alright, well. We can't go in there anyway, so... We're missing something. What are we missing? Let's read through the notes. Mysterious human experiments. My vision blurs when I return the head of the body on the table. Is the corpse's ghost showing me the past? Or is it a curse? The man in the lab coat has to be the ghost of a researcher here. The two ghosts are struck in an unending nightmare. They cut off the woman's head with a chisel, then try to attach it to the Azura statue. That obscene hatred overwhelms me. Just then, I hear the operating table woman's voice on my right side.
Hate, 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 hate this entire world and tear it to pieces. Pour all my strength in the peace where I hear the voice. Hate, kill. It sounds like the curse of some kind. And what's the voice she mentioned? Was that voice what made the Kannon Soldier move? The woman's head, having gained a special power, was put on the Azra statue. The Kannon Soldier awoke. Either a curse or a grudge triggered its birth. Either a curse or a grudge triggers its birth. It must be a spiritual being of some kind. That means I need an object with spiritual power. The Kagura Suzu bells we found is used by priestesses, so then who would be best to bring as my partner? I'm still not sure. The female doctor? Oh, the female doctor. I see. Okay, so I have the right person. I have the female doctor, right? Door won't open. Examine. I put my hand on the knob again and turn it. When I do, it turns smoothly with no resistance. Inside the room are a number of Buddha statues. They're all missing their heads. It seems this is where they stored all the various statues they gathered through theft or donations. It feels like something's here. Maybe this is where the heart of the curse or the source of the spirit is. I brace myself for input from the other me. But it doesn't seem like that's happening. Does that mean I should already know? Oh. It's a big iron box. It's devoid of anything that looks like a keyhole, but the box won't open. Alright, palm pistol. A small palm-sized gun developed by an army for self-defense. A number of unsolved issues such as only holding one bullet and its unreliability caused its development to be cancelled. Well, it's a statue that looks like a divine general. It has armor from Tang Dynasty. It's a statue with the head cut off. It looks like it held a weapon in its left hand. It's a statue that looks like a Vidyaraja or something. It's missing one of its arms as well as its head. It's a statue that seems to be a divine general. The head has been severed. It's a statue with the head cut off. It seems to be holding some kind of Buddhist ritual implement. It's a statue with its head cut off. It's lying pitifully on the floor. There's its arm. Anything else I can look at before I look at the one that was bleeding outright? It's a Vasaravana statue. It's missing its head. I search all the statues. Every statue here has a male body. Suddenly, there is a sound of movement from within the box. Oh, good. Let's open it. I managed to open the box. Sheets of white paper are inside. They seem to be a multitude of talismans. Was something sealed here? Haru peers into the box beside me. So, was something in there? Well, my voice sounds distant. The cause of the curse, what birthed the spirit? There's nothing like that here. No, there's nothing here. What? What do you mean? Then what's that in your hand? Haru is right. It's not true that there's nothing inside. There is one thing. I never would have expected something like this. Something that doesn't belong here. A box sealed by talismans has enshrined a Western-style cushion. Haru sighs, disappointed. Guess we're out of luck. No way this thing gave birth to a spirit. True. But the state of this room and the voices, something important was definitely sealed up in this place at one point, yet there's nothing here. New info was added to the spirit file. The Buddha statue in warehouse number 2. Then the thing we're searching for, where the hell did it go? A long silence falls between us. It is then that a non-familiar pain flares up. The mark burns scarlet. It immediately is dyed a deep crimson. Death is only a few minutes away. What's going on? Is death closing in on all of us? All of a sudden? No, it's... The spirit is here.
What? Let me out! Let me out! Oh no.
A low sutra chant hum trembles the air. It feels like my whole body is numb. It may be because of the hum.
Shoot sword blade? Did I just like... Oh, okay. I was like, did I just pick this? Let's do palm pistol. Let's do gun blank. Yes.
Bilicium loses consciousness. Bilicium shoots the palm pistol. Bilicium was injured. Bilicium collapses. I try to aim the gun at the spirit, but against my will, I shoot at my own head instead. Oh, my vision darkens. I can see the spirit slowly drawing closer. That's awkward. Game over. All right, I know what I need to do. I need to face the spirit again, but also I need to use the blinding, deafening gunshot initially instead of secondarily. All right, let's face the spirit again.
Nobody's home! Come back later! Well, you know, some people just don't listen. Alright, so we are gonna start with gun with blanks and then the bell. Yes. Bilicium loses consciousness. Bilicium shoots the gun with blanks. I grab the gun, but I can't control my hand and turn the gun towards my head and fires. The blank explodes. My consciousness fades. There's a strong ringing in my ears and it preventing me from hearing the whatever. Hiru is clutching their head like they can't hear anything either. The numbness has faded. Shake Kagura Suzu's bell. Haru shakes the Kagura Suzu bell. Nothing happens. Kannon Soldier yells, making my heart clench. Bilicium was injured. Haru was injured. Palm pistol. Blank. Yes. Wasn't effective. Haru shakes, nothing happens. She yells, I was injured, she was injured. Okay. You're awfully close now. Shoot, short, sword. Shake. Bilicium shoots the range short sword blade. Kannon Shoulder is wounded. The spirit fades and becomes intangible. Shakes Kagura Suzu bell. Is wounded. The spirit turns solid again. Yells, making my heart clench. Haru was injured. Bilicium was injured. Okay. Oh, hi. You're very close and so pretty. So very pretty. What if I go you? Okay, you're the first to go. And then Rusted Army Sword? No. Palm pistol. Oh no. Okay. Short sword is not an option. Item can no longer be used. Palm pistol. Final answer. Haru shakes the Kagura bell. Nothing happens. Bilicium shoots the palm pistol. Kannon Soldier is wounded. Spirit fades and becomes intangible. Stabs its weapon. Bilicium collapses. Okay, so it has to go in that order. Okay. I can see the spirit slowly going closer. Okay. I feel very confident that I'm doing the right thing in some sort of order. All right, we're gonna stick with what we know. I don't know that there's any way for us not to be injured. Palm pistol. Suzu Bell. Yes. Soldier is wounded. Becomes intangible. Suzu Bell. Brings her back to solid again. Okay. Range short sword. Kagura. Yes. Soldier is wounded. Spirit fades. Bell brings her back. Turns solid again. Okay. Okay. Hiya. Okay, so rusted army sword. Suzu Bell. Final answer. Yes. Soldier is wounded. Spades. Uses the bell. The spirit stops. I guess the attack finally worked. Not out of nowhere, footsteps approach behind me. Whoa! A voice yells comically, and whoever it is puts their hand on my back, but I can't take my eyes off the spirit before me. But Banshee? Is that you? What are you doing? Instead of replying, he shoves something into my hand. It's a large chisel with a grip stained in blood. This is... I found it in that room in the mansion. In that instance, I understood everything. The heart of the curse that we were searching for, the object that gave birth to the spirit. So it was kept in Kuju Mansion. Thanks, I'm going to use it. I grabbed the chisel and faced the spirit. The Kannon Soldier is weakened. Large chisel? Kagura Bell? Yeah? Bilicium swings the chisel down on the soldier. Right eye, left eye, between the eyes. Right ear, left ear? Between the eyes? I drive the chisel deep between its eyes. The Kannon Soldier convulses as it meets its ghastly end. It starts to crumble, its glare enough to scorch the entire world. Wow, we did it! The statue stops moving and collapses. It stopped, right? Seems so. I don't got that mark anymore, so there's no doubt about it. But mine still exists. Once again, I'm the only one still cursed. Glad I made it in the nick of time. My legs weren't in such good shape, it would have been over for us. Thanks for saving us, but you know that was pretty reckless. I thought I said it's dangerous for a group of mark bearers to go somewhere haunted. Ah, yeah, you did mention something like that when I was eating. Completely slipped my mind. Tell us, old man, what happened at the mansion? I'm not quite sure myself, but I'll tell you what I know. After you left, I wandered the place looking for something to eat. My mark hurt like hell right by that room. I slipped inside and found a bunch of chisels and things. He must mean that room I found. I was kind of out of it because of the mark at that point, but I noticed one of the chisels was glowing all weird with a dark light. I knew right away that it was hidden. I knew right away it was hiding some awesome spiritual power. But what made you decide that you had to bring the chisel here? You seemed sure it'd be effective against the Kannon Soldier. I heard a voice when I picked it up. It reminded me of a lady, sorta. It said to bring the chisel to you. And that's when it hit me. It was what I'd been looking for. Oh, that thing you mentioned in the car. The heart of the curse that created the spirit. Exactly that! So I hoofed it over to give it to you. When I looked through that room before, Yasuka said that the Kujo family used to create Buddha statues a long time ago. It's possible that chisel was used to create the statue that became the Kannon Soldier. I don't know what that voice was that he heard. Probably something like the mysterious voice that guided me before. You know, I haven't heard it in a while. And that's what happened. So we heading back to the mansion then, Bilicium? For one, I'm hungry, but I bet Damien's worried too. I left without saying a word after all. Yeah. Searching for documents on the mark, carting all of the statues out. It'll take more than a day to do all that. We should go back to the mansion and figure out what to do next. What? We're leaving already? I wanted to examine this place. I glanced at the statue fallen on the floor. Sorry, but you'll have to do that another time. No! Out of nowhere, she shrieks hysterically, glaring at us with a strange look in her eyes. What's the fuss, Haru? You eat something weird? My mark suddenly scorches me. My flashlight blinks out. I hear voices echoing. The passage reverberates with sinister chanting, like groans from hell. This chanting, it's the Kannon Soldier. It's calling to Haru. Kannon Soldier, great Asura. It's mine. No one can have it. She stumbles her way over to the fallen Kannon Soldier. Hey, Haru? Hold on. That's dangerous. It's still... She lowers herself next to the statue. She cradles its head lovingly in her arms. Oh, great Asura. Asura, 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 Asura. Asura, 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 Asura. Like a reply to Haru's whispers, a voice echoes, one I shouldn't be able to hear. The Kannon Soldier stands up, raises a long arm. And decapitates. Fresh blood sprays everywhere as her head rolls along the floor. The Kannon Soldier grabs Haru's head and body, still dripping blood. And vanishes into the darkness. Aw, come on. I thought I did so good. Banshee and I are frozen in fear. All we can do is stare. The moment we come back to ourselves, we bolt out of the shelter like we've been chased. We climb up out of the manhole and no south alley. Damien runs up to us, drenched in sweat. He looks even worse than usual. He probably shouldn't have run. I found you. Hey, old man. Why did you suddenly sprint out of the mansion? My mark is gone now, too. What in the world happened? I had something to give Bilicium. I made it in time, but then Haru... What happened to her? The Kannon Soldier got her. We managed to destroy its head, but we didn't snuff out all its powers. It used the last of its strength and... I see. A doctor sees many deaths, but when it's a young person, it's too much. I feel so powerless. Well then, no use standing around feeling sorry about Haru. It may be cruel, but it's in the past now. Focus on dealing with your mark. Right. They're better at handling death than I am. Probably comes from their experience. It's looking up that I can get rid of it. I finally discovered where the statues stolen from H Shrine are. It might all work out in the end. I'm lost, but I'm glad for you. It's thanks to all of you. I'll figure the rest out by myself. You should all return to your regular lives. You're saying we should separate? Will you really be all right? I'm sure I'll manage. Besides, this is Saya Kujo's dying wish. I want to respect it. I see. Then I'll do as you ask. Honestly, all this has put a strain on me. I'm barely staying upright. Whatever you do, don't collapse on your way home, please. Hey, Bilicium? One day, I'm hoping to let the public know about the underground shelter, for the sake of the wandering souls without a proper burial. I'd like it if you helped with that. See you around. Guess I'll go too. You're not returning to the shelter, are you? I may have balls, but I'm not about getting myself killed. The soldier might start up again. I'll give it a few days and then decide. So you're still planning on going back? Sounds like a death wish to me. Comes with living this kind of life. Plus, I'd like to give Haru a proper burial. I'll bunker down in a park or under a bridge until things calm down. See you, Bilicium. Bring more food next time, yeah? Alright. The former mark bearers have all left. I should probably head to the mansion myself. I've got to decide what to do next.
Go!
I hear a voice calling from behind me. I turn to see Banshee in the middle of the road, staring intently at me. What's wrong? I remember now. His eyes are as wide as saucers. I forgot 'cause of the mark, but I've met you before. What? What do you mean? Well, let me think. He scratches his chin. I know his memories are probably all a mess, having just gotten them back, but I don't have time to wait for him. Yes, we first met 5 years ago, and then again 10 days ago. I feel like I've been struck by lightning. I first arrived at Kujo Mansion 10 days ago. That means I met him before I lost my memories. I need to know, who in the world am I? I couldn't say. I wasn't interested in asking your name, and you didn't give it. Then tell me, what do you know? Tell me about myself, please. Okay. I owe you for the food, so ask. What should I ask about? 5 years ago, you showed up at the shelter, wanting to know about the Heavenly Buddha project, gave me food. Actually, you were more focused on the Kujo family than the Kannon Soldier. Why did we talk about them? The head at the time was majorly involved in the project. He was famous for his spiritual power, so the army asked him to help. He loaned them a number of his family's prized sacred treasures. You really zeroed in on that bit. Do you know what exactly the army got? Yeah, the shelter had a list. A mirror, a chisel, Buddha statues, cursed objects, and holy talismans. They were all returned to the family, which means they're all in the mansion now. You kept popping by a few times until one day you just didn't. I only saw you next 10 days ago. Next is 10 days ago. I just seen the Kannon Soldier, and you can bet I booked it out of that manhole. I ran into you on the street. Had you treat me to food to celebrate. Thanks for that, by the way. Banshee's talking about the person I was before I lost my memories. It's weird to hear about myself this way. You'd mentioned you'd been overseas. You'd only come back recently, about a month ago. Oh, and that's when I learned of the mark. You told me about it. It slipped my mind until just now. By that time, was my right arm? Yeah, it had the mark. You were acting all odd, though. You'd go to remember something, then stumble over the words. The curse was probably in the late stages. In fact, I'd completely forgotten my name and passed a few hours after that. By the by, I've got something to tell you. This here Banshee Itu is of much nobler character than regular folk. That's why I lead a detached life away from the world's vulgarities. What are you trying to say? I could be crazy desperate, but I'd never shame my dear departed mom or divine providence. You understand? No, you lost me. I'm saying I'd never resort to stealing, even dying of hunger. Here, these are yours. He pulls out a wristwatch and a wallet. Each look like an antique. They're inlaid with subtle designs. You forgot them at the restaurant. Let me see them. I grab them both and rush to open the wallet. But there's no ID inside. There was no driver's license or company card or an ID in it when you got it. Don't ask me. You said you forgot your old wallet somewhere and lost it. It was probably in there. Oh. I look at what else is in the wallet. Bills, coins, a number of familiar business cards. Saya Kujo, spirit healer. Ah, those things. You tried to give me one. Told me to go there if I remembered anything. But I gave it back. I don't make a habit of carrying useless stuff. Saya Kujo card was in my pocket when I first arrived at Kujo Mansion. It must have been the one Banshee returned. There's no doubt about it. I lost all my memories after I met Banshee. I've asked everything I wanted to know, but something's still bugging me. Did I say anything about the mark when you saw me 10 days ago? Well, I was so focused on eating that I wasn't paying full attention. Are you kidding? Oh yeah, you said the same thing as Haru about the Kannon Soldier. There's no way a human head on a statue will make it move. But it did actually move. That's what I thought too. And then you said something strange. You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her. Her? That's not all. You said she gave you the mark. That she loved watching you lose your memories and fear death. You made her kick the bucket once, but she came back to life. You said you needed to do the same thing done 50 years ago to get rid of her. My heart wants to beat out of my chest. I can feel sweat run down my face. There's no way I can keep calm. Before I lose my memories, I'd know who had cursed me with the mark. Hey, old man. Who's she? Did I tell you? I wanted to know too, so I asked. But you couldn't answer me. I don't think you were trying to hide it. You just honestly didn't remember.
Was that because of the mark?
Well, that's about all I can tell you. Bilicium. We should get going soon. Go? Where? I'll tell you in your car. I'm real tired of standing. I'd like to sit for a bit. There's no point in arguing here. I'll just get it out of him once we're in the car. New info is added to the spirit file. My past self. Fascinating. Return to Cujo Mansion. Yes. Nope, the mansion's out of the way. Banshee clambers into the back seat of the car. His heavy scent fills the enclosed space. Ah, I can finally catch my breath. Now then, driver, take us to the forest by H Castle. I drive down the familiar road. All lights along the way are strangely green. We reach our destination without me having to slow down the car once. The engine chugs along. I feel the wheels of fate turning like those on the car I'm riding in. 10 days ago, I promised, in exchange for you to buy me an extra order of almond jelly, if you did forget everything, I'd take you to H Shrine. Sounds like I prepared for everything. But if I was that careful, why didn't I leave myself a clue? Why prepare if I was just going to forget? Did the curse progress faster than expected, so there wasn't time? Or did someone get rid of it? But if I had business at H Shrine, why didn't I go there while I still had my memories? Something about timing, waiting for some magic summer cleaning to clear away impurity. Suddenly, my old self echoes in my head. I speak the words out loud slowly as realization dawns. The summer purification rites. They're rites held at shrines to exorcise evil. On the last day of June, you pass through woven reeds to cleanse yourself. I was trying to use that ritual to exorcise the impurity. Ah, gotcha. Luckily, today's the 1st of July, so the rites or whatever are done. Should be no problem now. Exorcise the impurity, huh? What kind of impurity was I trying to cleanse? The more I learn, the less I understand. My previous self is like a complete stranger to me. How many times have I come to this forest now? The creepy arch, the thick trees look the same as always. You know where H Shrine is, yeah? Lead the way. You've never been there? First I heard of it was 10 days ago. Awesome. Banshee and I push through the vegetation and make our way down the beast trail. We pass under the stone torii gate. And finally arrive at the desolate H Shrine. The few headless Buddha statues that are left shine in the night of the flashlight. So the statues used in the project were stolen from here? Yeah, that's right. Is it really true the statues are connected to the mark somehow? I've considered the possibility that the mark was caused by their divine wrath. But 10 days ago... You said what happened 50 years ago wasn't because of the project. It was all because of her. This course I've been following this whole time. Then at some point I had to be fed some huge lie. But what could it be? A shudder runs through me at the thought. It feels like I'm looking into the depths of hell. You said 10 days ago that altar holds something important. Something about needing to keep it here to exorcise the impurity. He approaches the small altar and puts his hand on the sliding door. Huh? What's going on here? The thing's empty. Don't ask me. It was already gone when I was here earlier. Well, that's darn weird. You said there was a cloth pouch. What was inside? A small fist-sized statue. A Nijibutsu or something? It was the Go Shinta for the shrine. The Kojo head used it in the shelter to stop the mess 50 years ago. And again, it's the Kujo family. They must have strong ties to the mark. Well, this is about all I can do for you. At least it was enough to pay off the dessert. The dessert. We should head back soon. We should head back, son. Right. I'm still unsure about what my old self was thinking, but it's clear whatever plan I had didn't work. Where did the Nijibutsu go? On the way back, I feel reluctant to go. I keep turning to look toward the shrine. Each time I do, Banshee hurries me on to the forest entrance. Well, this is where we part ways. You're not going to ride back with me? I'm gonna be honest with you. I got a bit carsick on the way here. Flat roads were fine, but the curves and hills did me in. I just got a nice meal, and I'd hate to throw it up, so I'll walk back. But it's pretty far from here. Kids are such wimps these days. When I was young, I used to walk across the Himalayas all the time. This ain't nothing. Ha ha ha. His laugh is loud enough for the whole forest to hear. He waves and leaves me alone. Once he's out of sight, I get into the car. I pull out of the deserted parking lot and drive back to the mansion. As I count the streetlights passing by, I go over everything Banshee told me. 50 years ago in the shelter, the Kannon soldiers went berserk, but it wasn't because of the army experiments. It was her. The army was unable to stand up to the threat of her and the soldier. But the Kujo family head used the Nijibutsu to settle everything. However, she still exists in this time period. She was the one who gave me my mark. Before I lost my memories, I was planning on using the Nijibutsu like they did before. I left it at each shrine so it could be cleansed of its impurity. But somewhere along the line it went missing. The past me probably couldn't have predicted that that would have happened. I'm almost back at Kujo Mansion. As my drive comes to an end, I focus on what the most important detail is. That's right, who she is. I have a hunch about her identity, but I can't be sure yet. And that definitely proves that she was there. 50 years ago, she made the Kannon Soldier move down in the shelter. The Cujo family had sealed her. They would have brought her to the mansion, the sacred object for the project of which she was one, were returned to the Cujos. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. If there were any way to defeat her, it just has to be in that mansion. I don't have any solid proof, but the fragments of my memory are whispering to me. The entrance doesn't look any different. My mark burns. The sharp pain nearly brings me to my knees. It seems she has no intention of hiding her presence any longer. New info is added to the spirit file in pursuit of the truth. There are no mark bearers to choose from. I still have everything. Interesting. Talk. So, we meet again. Mary's voice is soft. I know now. Behind those words is hidden an intense lust for blood. You came back to life rather quickly. You gave me nearly a whole day, more than enough time. I admit that rabbit attack surprised me, but unexpected events can themselves be rather enjoyable. When I had brought Mary to 8 Shrine, we caught sight of the rabbit there. It might have suspected Mary's true nature. That rabbit. Its great love for you pushes it into recklessness. What was that rabbit really? Determine that for yourself. Who are you? Know that and the answers will come, though it is impossible so long as you bear the mark I gave you. Mary gave me the mark. I had a hunch, but hearing it from her lips fills me with dread. Just what are you trying to accomplish? Dragging the living to the depths of despair before killing them? I believe I explained that. It is a spirit's utmost desire and joy, and I had your cooperation with achieving that. Cooperate? That's ridiculous. Oh? Have you not realized yet? You did bring me those pathetic mark bearers directly to the spirits, did you not? They feared the spirit's existence, trembled in the face of death, the brief joy of their survival only to be crushed like miserable ants. I savor the taste of that fear and despair, most delicious. You had all of us help out, just to terrify the mark bearers even more. Clearly, I could have waited for the curse to complete if I only wanted them dead. That is not the only lie. Mark bearers must stay in small groups. Do not contact outsiders. All my instructions were to drive you into a state of emergency, and not once did you doubt me. I bet she's telling me all of this because she wants me terrified with how hopeless the situation I find myself in is. I'm frozen in place, and I know my face must be as pale as death. She must be loving this. Don't tell me you created all those spirits just to accomplish that. Indeed, when Lady Christie believed divine wrath was the cause of the mark, I had never been more amused. Her foolishness was so delightful, I just had to come along with you. So you lied. Of course. How could a pile of broken statues possibly do anything? I could be imagining it, but I feel like she hesitated for a moment there. 50 years ago, I was sealed away by the head of the Cujo family. I woke here 5 years ago. At the time, I was still unable to speak and communicate, but it seems my awakening alone caused a number of ripples. Those who died unfortunate deaths on cursed land became monstrous spirits. The H elementary abuse, the honeybee mass suicide, Sekko's assault and suicide, they all happened 5 years ago. I finally regained my full power a little over a month ago. Then the Buddha statue connected to me 50 years ago began moving. The woman killed by the statue was also influenced by my power. That must be the Kannon Soldier and Zukawa. Zukawa believed it was divine oracle from the soldier, when really it had been Mary. She did as the great Asura said and transformed herself into Miss Zu. Once my strength returned, I again bestowed my power on spirits. It connects humans to me and manipulates them into a panic. The mark. I know you've been toying with us, but, well, was there really a need to make us connected to you in some way? Of course. By being in direct contact with you, I could taste your fear. Even now, are you scared of me, Lord Bilicium? Stay silent. So you are terrified to the extent that it steals your speech. I didn't say that. Her porcelain face cracks. Ever since you declared that you would fight the mark, I have waited eagerly for this day. Over the past 10 days, I have tasted your fear through the mark. Thick and syrupy, as sweet as honey, each savored morsel made me want to smash you to pieces. But I waited. I am not so foolish as to kill a goose that lays golden eggs. But I cannot take it anymore. Like crushing a ripe fruit and sipping its juice, I want to break you down and savor your sweet fear. Nice. The mark is dyed a deep crimson. A few minutes left until death closes in. My thoughts blur together suddenly. What happened to a mark bearer right before dawn? I've seen it many times. Is that what's happening to me now? Lord Bilicium, wait for me. Kill. I can hear Mary stand up over by the sofa. At this rate, the rabbit's fate will be mine too. I have to run away. Check within the red in my room. Something whispers in my ear. That's right, that voice. But what does my room mean? Focus. Who does that voice belong to? Yasuka? She said, it was someone who loved me.
Live or die.
Mary's coming closer. Where should I run? Saya's room. I sprint at full speed up the stairs and fly into Saya's room. It's gotta be Saya. Much like the entrance hall, it's dark. The voice said check within the red in my room. Is something there? But where should I look? The bloodstain? Desk, bed, floor. Floor? Okay, good. Saya Kujo's bloodstain is still on the floor. It's obviously dried by this point in time. There might be something lying on top of it. I can't be sure as it's too dark. Nothing was there the last time I was here. Picking it up, I discover that it's a small pouch. Inside is a hard, thin object. I move over to the moonlight to see it better. It's a small Buddha statue. It can't be. Is this the Nijibitsu? It seems to be stained with blood, and I get an ominous feeling from it. The impurity, it hasn't been exorcised yet. I instinctively know the instant I see it. My mind is suddenly flooded with all of my memories and the Nijibitsu, one after another. 50 years ago, the head of the Kujo family used this to seal Mary's power. He put the Nijibitsu inside her to seal her away. Then, about a month ago, someone took it out. That person was me. Because of that, Mary regained her powers. The Nijibitsu in my hand looks exactly as it did back then, full of impurity. Impurity that's built up from sealing Mary's power over 50 years. To cleanse it, I left the Nijibitsu at the uncontaminated 8th shrine. It would take time to exorcise all of the impurity. It's already July. The summer purification rite is over, so why is it still impure? The object the rabbit had in its mouth. It could have been carrying the pouch then instead of the master key. Then the Nijibitsu was taken away from 8th shrine before the beginning of July. Maybe the rabbit saw Mary by the shrine and was scared that she would find it. So it had no choice but to steal it away. That makes more sense, that the rabbit had the pouch in its mouth, and Mary had the key all along, hiding it from him. The door to the adjacent room opens. Mary must be looking for me, but she can sense the presence of mark bearers. What's going on? Wait, is it possible that Saya's blood is protecting me? Bring it to where I met my end. The voice whispers in my ear again. If this isn't where the voice owner died, they must have met their end elsewhere. There's only one other place. While Mary is in the room next door, I sprint down the entrance hall. I make a beeline to Mary's sofa and then spot where the rabbit died. The voice that spoke to me and helped me every time a spirit was closing in. If Saya was working through anything, it must have been that rabbit. Sensing something, I look down at my hand. The Nijibitsu's impurity is gone. Is this what you've been telling me, Saya? I speak to the departed woman who's guided me as I struggled without memories. Put the Nijibitsu, the source of the doll's curse, press it to the black mark. Then the whispers stop.
press the Nijibitsu to the black mark. The floorboard creaks ominously. I raise my head to the staircase rising into the darkness before me. A dark figure stands on the landing. I found you. The mark scorches me. My head goes blank. Mary's coming closer. My body won't listen to me. Ah, Lord Bilicium. Mary closes her hands around my neck. She's kill me. Huh? I squeeze the Nijibitsu, and the fog that's impeding my thoughts lifts. It's still a struggle to think. I should be able to move my arm now. Put the Nijibitsu on the source of the curse. I only have one chance. Where should I stick the Nijibitsu? Mouth, right arm, left arm. Right arm? I manage to drag my impossibly heavy arm and stick the Nijibitsu on Mary's right arm. Yes! She's hiding it. But I'm sure that's where the black mark was. Marks bloom on Mary one after another. They're all the color of blood. It's like they're the curse of those she killed. Survived. Sorry, Mary. Mary shatters into dust. Did I really do it? I hesitantly look down at my right arm. The mark is gone. I did it. I finally did it. I have to say it out loud to convince myself. A victory at the expense of Saya and the mark bearers' lives. I can't claim it's all over, but there's no harm being relieved for now. Or is there? Or is there? The fog clouding my head clears away. My memories slowly return to me. I look around the dimly lit hall again. I know this mansion well because The clock on the second floor begins chiming wildly like it did 10 days ago. When I make my way to it, it stops, almost as if it had a will of its own. That's right, this grandfather clock. I think a skilled ancestor of the Cujo family crafted it. That one chisel may have been used to make it. That's right, inside this clock. I open the door and stick my hand inside. My fingers brush something hard. Taking it out, I realize it's a voice recorder. I press the play button.
聞こえているだろうか。
This
九条
on?
正宗だ。
This is Masamune Kujo. It's a man's voice, a voice I know all too well. It's my voice. I decided to leave this record behind in case something should happen. That doll may dispose of any files or documents. I'm banking on her overlooking a piece of technology. As I listen, I start to remember recording this. I'd done it right before I received the mark from Mary. Now, where should I begin? It started 5 years ago. 2 years after I became Kujo family head, my sister Saya and I found the doll in a wooden box while sorting the warehouse. The moment I broke the seal and saw her, I could sense something sinister. But it took a while longer to fully understand what she truly is. If only there had been records. But great-grandfather who sealed her didn't leave any before his early death. Because of that, his descendants weren't told about the doll. I managed to learn the doll had been loaned to the army lab during the war. A strange old man who lived in an underground shelter told me. Then I went overseas to try to get more information on the doll. But I got into an accident while away and was presumed missing, so Saya became the new family head. I wasn't able to contact her until after she had inherited the title. It wasn't something worth contesting, so I explained everything and had her keep up the facade that I was missing. Public records still stated Masamune Kujo was very much alive, of course. I couldn't have used my passport or license otherwise. I'm off topic, sorry. I only just returned to the country last week. Other psychics abroad all agreed it would be bad to leave the doll be. A Nijibitsu inside the doll still suppressed its cursed power, but I realized that it was almost at its limit. If I left it alone, it would crumble. Then it'd be impossible to suppress the cursed power of the doll. That was worst case scenario. But what was I to be doing? The answer I came up with was to remove the Nijibitsu from the doll temporarily. Its impurity would be cleansed after a month stored in a pure area, and then I'll place it back in the doll. If I succeeded, the doll's powers will be sealed for a few more decades. But the problem is that 1 month, I have no idea what kind of curse will be released when the doll's unsealed. I'll do what I can to prevent disasters, but my power can't compare to the Nijibitsu. I can't guarantee anything. There may be victims again, like the tragedy 50 years ago. But this is a necessary evil. It must be done in order to prevent even more people from falling victim. After this, I'll disassemble the doll and remove the Nijibitsu. I pray everything goes according to plan and the worst of the evil is avoided. I hope this record isn't needed. But if the one listening to this has a loved one who's fallen victim to the curse, then I'm very sorry. The recording ends there. Damn it. I clench my fist so hard my nails dig into my palms. Yes, the voice on the tape was mine, but I'm furious with it. I don't know that person at all. The mark has claimed so many victims over the past month, like the mark bearers. I even lost my little sister Saya. Was she just another inevitable victim that this voice spoke of? I can't forgive him. It had to be done.
Well, we see how bitterness and anger turn into horrible grudges. So I'm going to say that it had to be done. Even if I can't associate myself with that voice anymore because of the experiences I've had and the ignorance that he had at the time. I'm Violet Bilicium, but I'm also Masamune Kujo. I understand why he felt as if he had to do that. It was his fate. The Kujo family are forever linked to that cursed doll. Chapter 5, Kannon Soldier, End. Two months have passed. The occasional cool breeze signals that summer is almost over. I've spent my time putting the case of the mark to rest as best I can. I put Saya to rest by burying the rabbit and contacting the surviving mark bearers. Putting the Buddha statue in place of honor was also one of those tasks. They weren't connected to the marks after all, but I couldn't just leave them there. Plus, there was no way Christie'd keep quiet about the statues. So with her guidance and Yasuka, Damien, and Banshee's help, I carried the broken statues out of the shelter and returned them to H Shrine. In the process, I discovered that the Kannon Soldier was nowhere to be found. Haru's body is also missing. Where'd they go? It remains a mystery. By now, my memory has completely returned. Things didn't quite go as originally planned, but at least the danger has passed. I don't think my decision as Masamune Kujo was wrong, but at times, waves of powerlessness and despondency overwhelm me. When I think of the mark's victims, of Saya and the mark bearers, my chest hurts. I want to do something for them as the new head of the Kujo family. About the memories I've regained. I became the Kujo family head 7 years ago. I'll admit, I was a bit of a recluse. I left the public appearance to Saya, preferring to stay out of the spotlight. The only photos of me are from small local newspapers. I uncovered Mary by accident in the family's warehouse 5 years ago. It was a discovery that changed my life. I traveled extensively abroad in order to learn more about Mary. In one country, I got into an accident and fell into a coma for half a year. Even worse, the country proceeded to treat me as an unidentified traveler. I don't know if that was merely my terrible luck or if Mary's curse had something to do with it. When I was finally able to contact home, Saya had already become the new head. The rest was as the tape said. I had no idea that Mary's power was far greater than I had imagined. All of my efforts to suppress her power were completely useless. My memories unraveled faster than I thought. How did Mary come to be in the first place? One theory says a doll maker in the 19th century used magic to create her. Another says a spirit of a young girl who died prematurely took up residence in a doll. In the end, it's still a mystery. No one knows what happened to create a doll like that. We only know that each of Mary's owners died tragic deaths. Shortly after the turn of the 20th century, she came to be owned by the head of the Kujos. He either didn't know of the curse or simply didn't believe it. Disasters began befalling the family. Mary gained enough power to become sentient
and produce spirits. Then the tragedy in the shelter happened. The seething grudge of the experiment's victims and the Buddha statues. They may have triggered her awakening. Whatever Mary's true identity is, the fact remains she altered many people's fates, mine and the mark bearers included. Speaking of, an update on the surviving mark bearers. Mo Wannabe became a part-time writer for her favorite magazine, OOP Arts Monthly. She sometimes comes to Kujo Mansion to interview me about spirits and ghosts. Tsukasa Yoshida is studying every day for the middle school exams next year. He brags in his letters to me about how well he did in the national mock tests. Satoru Mashita brought me a drink like he promised. Seems he's thinking about becoming a private detective. He actually asked me if I wanted to join him. Was he serious? I don't know for sure. Shao Nagashami is picking fights, riding his bike, and doing whatever he wants, as usual. But recently, out of the blue, I heard he's joining a neighborhood baseball team. Christy Aramara has started writing an essay exposing all her past affairs, but the contents are so scandalous no one wants to publish it. I heard her complain over it the other day. Ita Nakamatsu seems to have finally recovered after what happened to Suzu. I don't know if it's because of all the trials he's endured now, but he's buckled down lately and has been stopping by the city employment center. A day doesn't go by that I don't see Kashigawa on TV as part of Love and Hero. She sent a ticket like she promised, but I need to drum up some courage to go to a concert for teens, alone, at my age. Kawako Yasuka is still working as a fortune teller in Ginza. Apparently she believes I have spiritual powers or something. She keeps sending customers with spirit problems to the mansion. I wish she would stop. After he helped clear out the statues, Shuzi Damon's condition worsened and he hospitalized. I think he worked himself too hard. Banshee Ito gave up on living in the shelter after everything that happened. He still treks down there occasionally to pray for Haru. All the mark bearers who became victims, all for the sake of the terror Mary sought. Whenever I remember them, my chest aches and I can't help but think, is it possible? Do they bear a dark grudge against me for surviving? I'm so sorry. How many times have I murmured that useless and meaningless apology? But I become more determined each time. All I can do now is make sure that that tragedy never happens again. For that, I need to hurry my preparations for putting the Nijibitsu inside Mary. The Nijibitsu alone won't be enough to continue sealing her powers in the years to come. I must prepare extra spiritual measures. It's taken a long time to get those ready, but today I finally finished. Did the mansion just lose power? What's going on? What is this feeling? My arm is burning. Why is the mark? What? What's happening? Calm down. I need to calm down. First, I need to get a grip on my situation. That's how I survived this long. A horribly familiar noise echoes in the hall. There you are. Ah. All right, guys, we made it through the game. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say. Did we do good? I don't know. Was there a better ending that could have happened? Like, if nobody had died, would we have gotten like a better ending? Probably. We probably would have gotten like the, like each person where they are and what's going on with them, but because 2 people died, right? It's just the 2. Obviously, there's the regret that he expresses for them passing away, and also, because they passed away, they didn't have a further where they are now kind of thing. But I don't know that like there is like a better ending. I could have probably killed all of them except for one off and still ended up with the same ending, which is these were all sacrifices to stop Mary in her tracks. So I think it doesn't matter. I will check to find that out. But yeah. I did look up. The gallery has been added to the title screen. You are able to view the game illustrations. Ooh. Clear death mark, save all progress. Yes. We'll save it number 10. Beautiful. So, I did look up. We're back at the beginning. So I did look up the Kannon Soldier ending to find out what I did that was wrong. And you do have to have Haru. You have to have the female, just like what I was saying, like, oh, because she shakes the bells, right? Which the moment she started using them and that caused the spirit to like rematerialize, clearly that was the correct path. You do use the weapon. She uses the bells. It's just wash, rinse, repeat. There's no special anything. Just as long as you do that, you're pretty much good. The only thing is the very first thing, you have to use the gun that makes the sound that deafens you. That's it. That's the only like special thing you have to remember to do, and that's got to be the first thing you do. When you get the chisel, it asks you where you want to place it, in the right eye and the left eye, in the middle of the eyes, in the right ear and the left ear. And I thought that was very weird, right? Because they were talking about how the chisel was used to behead, so it wasn't like the back of the neck, which I was like kind of thinking that's where it needed to go. What it said online was, just for those of you who want to know like how to get the good ending, you want to put it into the right ear. And the reason, or how you're supposed to come up with that reasoning, is the scene where the woman on the table
the one who's being tortured, she speaks into your right ear, and the surgeon or the doctor speaks into the left ear. So because she's constantly the one that speaks into your right ear, you want to stab the Kannon Soldier in the right ear, is how I understand that. Now, there's a couple things that I think is a little bit weird about that. One, I don't know why you would think that, other than I think she makes one statement at one point about how she hears a voice, like the woman being tortured. She's like, there's so much hate, I want this world to be like destroyed, kind of thing, before she dies. And then I think she like hears a voice respond to her. And I don't know if maybe that voice is Mary speaking into her right ear, causing her to go insane, or like causing her to become like possessed, quote unquote. And then that's what causes it to be like a thing, like the right ear triggers it. But I didn't catch that right off the bat. And then after reading it, I felt like it made a lot more sense, the whole ear thing. It's like when she comes out, she's chanting, and the noise causes madness, right? So it wouldn't have anything to do with your eyes. It would definitely have to be something that is caused by your hearing, right? But I just didn't connect those dots. So it is the ears. It's the right ear specifically. It's the right ear, I believe, because of the whispering into your ear. And then, yeah, I believe that was everything. I feel like after playing once through and kind of getting an idea of like how the logic works in like the puzzles, I'm very curious to go back through, play them again, and see if I don't like notice or pick up on things that I didn't catch the first time through. Obviously, your first time through, lots of things are kind of being thrown at you. You don't really know how to piece them together. And also, some things are just a bit scary. I'm just going to put that out there. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys really enjoyed it too. I am going to be playing the next game from the developers called NG. That is not going to come out immediately, so it's not going to be next week. More than likely, it will be coming out probably in a couple of weeks from now. I'm going to give myself a bit of a break to do some collaborations. I've been doing some collaborations, but I have more stuff kind of in the works, and also free up a little bit of my schedule just for some breathing space. And then we will be going into NG, and I'm very excited because everything that I'm seeing online is saying that Death Mark 2 should be released 2023 in the fall. So I am hoping that that means beginning of October, we might actually be seeing a brand new game in the series. Which for me, this is kind of the reason why I was like really pushing to get this game out as fast as I was, is because I wanted to do the first two so that if the third one does come out on time, I can put it up on my channel when it comes out. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. I've been dying to play this game for quite a few years, and to finally get the chance to play it myself was awesome. I really, really enjoyed this, and I cannot wait to see what Death Mark 2 looks like, because I feel like it's only going to be better. Like, they're only going to improve off of the design that they already have set up, and I feel like it's a really good approach to a horror game, because the thing about horror is once you know the unknown, it stops being scary, and horror games are notorious for like falling into just becoming action games, right? It's a horror game slash action. And the reason for it is because after the looming fear, the dread, the unknown, the uncertainty, once you figure out what it is, once you put a name on it, once you label it, once you identify it, it's not so scary anymore. It's identifiable, which means that it can be faced. And so within doing that, you're now kind of like stuck in that crossroads of like, do you end it there? Okay, we identified it and then end the story, or do you, like I said, make it into an action game where you're just kind of focusing on fighting it and all of that? And I feel like with Deathmark, the beautiful thing is you're kind of introduced to there's something, and then there's just a lot of like short stories about other monsters, and you sort of go off on this path thinking that each time you get distracted or get diverted, you're getting closer to your truth. And the reality is you're getting manipulated and pushed further and further away from your truth until outside things sort of fall into place that actually give you an opportunity to really see facts as to what's happening. And I think that's a really great way to do it. And I think that I will like to see how they approach Deathmark 2. Is Mary going to be the antagonist? Are we going to have the same protagonist, or is it going to be a story about someone completely different experiencing a different type of a curse, or you know, a different cursed object that has the powers to mark? You know, those things I think are very curious. Will it be something from like a before this whole situation? Are we gonna go back 100 years to see, you know, Japan, to see Mary be transported to Japan, kind of thing? Or will it be Japanese based? Will it take place over in Europe where Mary was made and designed? Like, so many questions, so many directions they could have gone with it. And I'm just super curious because yeah, I think it's really cool. And I have waffled on quite a bit, so I will stop here and I will bid you all good evening. Thank you so much for sticking with me. For those of you who stuck around to listen to me waffle, I greatly appreciate it because, yeah, there's not a lot of people I get to kind of like share my enthusiasm with. So any opportunity I get to actually do so, I enjoy, and I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you will all join me in the future. But until then, and as always, do take care, everyone. I want candy. Bubblegum, chocolate, doesn't matter, just as long as filled with sugar.